Hello guys, and welcome to another Early Waves on Cryptos. It's been, I don't know, maybe 8-9 days since the last update, and we're back again to have a quick look on Bitcoin, and for the first time, Quant. It's been actually doing very decently since June, and it's getting quite interesting and important to see whether the low is in. Technically speaking, it looks much better than BTC as well. Now, last time we talked about BTC, we always offered, of course, and provided different views, different outlooks based on probabilities, and that has brought us to today, finally revealing another variation as the main. It was just actually the correction in the wave 4, which seems to be a done case for me, and I will explain simply why. It's because the momentum to the downside is quite strong for that move not to be following a potential reversal, if that makes sense. Anyway, we're not here to do the analysis in this introduction. I'm gonna go and do the BTC quickly because I'm in a rush as well today, and Quant, and take it from there. Let's not forget, none of this is investment advice. It's just purely educational, just to help you make better informed decisions. Don't forget to like, share, and join the Discord. It's for free. Also, if you want more, there is a paid version. And well, I hope you enjoy this video. Okay guys, I'm gonna start with long-term on BTC. For those who haven't seen, go and watch previous videos. I am looking at this as supercycle wave 3 and going down in 4, which means I am looking at something like this to take place. And then further downside. That means I'm expecting the low to be next year, obviously. So you understand why in this particular structure you will see, to me, clear 5 wave moves to the downside. We'll have an extension in the third, 138.2, not the fifth, not the third that we want, but still it's decent. Correction to the downside. We have an acceleration outside the break channel, outside the base channel, guys, and this is the third wave usually, okay? And frankly speaking, where you're gonna have the third, if this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, that's 5, and then what is this? It looks a bit silly. So this is the main, okay? Still, which I repeat, 1 down, 2 up, and then 5 down, okay? And this is pretty much the main. We have now also come higher to close to the 30.2. Okay, we didn't get there to 26, but it's okay. If we look at the full leg to the downside, we did above the 23. We came also very close to the median line of this base channel coming downward. Close, didn't even reach. So some might think, well, there is potential for more upside. Okay, well, I will show you the alternatives. Okay, one of the alternatives is this. Okay, we've been talking about the W, X, and Y. Again, since an ABC, seems like this case is finished. It's not too possible. Another alternative, we are in the W, X, and Y wave 4 here, and this is going to go up, and that is like something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's another, of course, alternative, that this is an A, B, and a C wave, and that's again going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You might say, I don't have something that shows that will go up. Yes, I do. I just said. And plus, if you're watching, you should know that, hold on. Yeah, they should know that one of the other variations is this one. Okay, we have a shorter wave 3 and the 5th, which means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 indeed. Then this is B and C. Okay, I have it as a variation because it's kind of pretty much, not really seen much differences. It's just the 50 is down here. And the main idea is that we're going to correct down to 62 perhaps, and from there shoot all the way up in wave C. That is still something that's why it's a variation too, right, as well. That is very possible. The one other variation, and these two pretty much, guys, I will tell you that they're pretty much 50-50, you know, which one is going to play out if we don't see downside. The very important things that we need to pay attention to in this particular, in those two variations, is the channel here. Okay, we are above the channel, number 3, which means the trend is still intact. Plus, okay, we kind of, you know, fighting with the 50 Fibonacci now. Okay, and that is going to determine medium-term sentiment. If we lose 50, then things are going to get a bit uglier to the downside. The other variation, guys, it's over here. Okay, a triple zigzag. But I also, why do I not have, okay, double zigzag, fine. And the short term, let's go in the short term, since we pretty much have seen everything. Now in the short term, guys, as I said before, the assumption is that we finished here in the wave 4, okay, and that ended in an ending diagonal. We saw divergence coming in, obviously, quite a few signals here popping, and then boom, to the downside. You got 1 and 2, and then internally you have 1, 2, 3, perhaps 4 and 5. But there is 2 short-term variations here we need to look. Okay, first of all, having this as 1 and 2, and this is as 1, 2, doesn't automatically mean that the third is down here. Okay, I mean, ideally that's the case. Maybe even it is, but then fourth could be here, and the fifth could be here. But why I'm looking particularly, and why I have this count, okay, is the fact that over here, guys, the move to the downside that we see, it's 3 waves. Okay, now one can say, what about the end being here? So that would be an ABC, for example, that would be 5. Fine, that can be also, you know, sort of been done, and that's why I'm between these two. Now here's the situation. If we compare the wave 4 and the wave 2, yeah, we can clearly see, guys, that the duration of wave 2 versus the wave 4 is getting a bit, you know, overextended here, because we are still sidewaying. Okay, I see, as I said before, well, something like this being very possible as well, which means our third wave is here. Actually, the video I did for my group in the morning, I was talking about this perhaps being an ending diagonal, and then fine, we can go up for wave 4. Yeah, but I did say that if we continue to trade sideways, we're going to change this to something like this, because it makes more sense. Okay, although I did love the idea of having a flat here, because you got 5 waves up. It didn't play out. So what we are currently actually seeing here, I think, is we're seeing a very rare B wave correction at the 90%. It's not too often seen. And why? Because we have a very clear ABC structure here. Okay, now wave B maybe not done yet, guys. Okay, so I'm saying for now, yeah, 90% is done, but what else does 90% corrections? Anyone knows? Triangles, correct. So perhaps this is wave A here. Yeah, and then you're gonna get A, something like maybe even, well, actually, yeah, A or W, X and Y, doesn't matter. A, B, C, D, and E for wave B, and then C. What will this mean? This means that our wave B is not gonna end at 90%. Our wave B is gonna end around the 62%, 50%. Okay, so we'll have to watch how this is going to play out. So this we're going to have as floating short-term price action or expectation, right? Let's not forget that the intermediate wave 2, it doesn't look too great either. So if this is 3, we want to finish this as soon as possible. So if this is A, we want to see B, then C, D, E, up quickly and down. Okay, now what else can be the case here? Well, guys, if we squeeze things a bit, we can assume that this is 1 and 2, and this is 3 and 4, and this is something like, well, a 5, and then we're gonna do something like, I mean, I don't even know if that's possible. Hold on, because we do have a fresh low here. So A, B, C, D, and E will have to have a fresh low, because the fact that we have a fresh low down here, you know, we have to assume it's going to be an open-ending triangle in wave 4, right? If we squeeze the wave 3 in here. But as you can see, you know, we're going to need a fresh low down here. So in case we start moving lower down, potential for an open triangle is also going to be possible, but it's not that likely because, as I said before, it's unlikely that wave 3 is done here. Okay, so this is all there is for BTC. What we need to pay attention to is, well, the low that we have in now and the high that we have in. So we'll draw this channel here and we'll just pay attention what happens around the median line. Okay, because this is like a parallel channel with a slope, guys. Nothing more than that. It's a sideways market with an upside bias. Okay, and what else we watch, of course, is, as we said before, 38 at 22k and then 22.73. When does this get invalid? Above 23.70, guys. It's how it works. Start getting prepared just at 22.68, even lower at 22.50. When things get ugly, well, I think first, you know, doing a move down to end this leg around 2069. Maybe we're just gonna scoop some longs here and then move up. Who knows? No one knows. From that perspective though, down here we need to pay attention to the 21.15 and then down to 20.17. Of course 20k is also a very critical level. There is a lot of things, guys, you know, markets pretty much change. Like it can be from 1 minute to the other that we see a dramatic change, or something that changes really the count, but we're not anywhere close at a level that is going to invalidate this. So assume now we're just trading sideways market until we see breakout to the upside or to the downside. Downside likely to be a 5th wave, upside likely to be a 4th wave, but also depends on the duration of the correction. If the duration of the correction it's going to expand, then well, the chances supposedly of having finished here and we're going to go in correction 2 instead of an, you know, lower degree 4th wave are going to increase. But in this case, I don't think we'll have something like this. Now, because you probably noticed that I have intermediate wave here, right? And we have done a move, a very extended move down to the close to the 618, very close to 241, let's say, right? So what's the next level down? You know, even if we go down to 432, we don't go to the previous low for the 5th, right? But if the 3rd is here and approximately 4th ends here, look, if we do 100 plus, we'll just go to the previous low, okay? Otherwise, so I do expect that low coming down based on the long-term count as well to be quite quick, but otherwise, that has to be minor wave 1, guys, and minor 2. So you can understand that it's going to be a much more dramatic move to the downside, and that most dramatic move to the downside is going to also increase the chances of that being a different count in the long term, something that will end. We'll have a bottom in when it ends, rather than having the A, the B, and further downside for C. We will have the 5th wave of a final leg to the downside instead. Okay, and that's all there is. You can come here and then there we go. Guys, this is a bit tricky to watch because there is not much data. If you go CoinMarketCap, you're going to find a lot more data coming. Hold on. This is odd. I think I know what's happened. Hold on. Crypto, which one? This one. There we go. So yeah, it's missing a lot of data, but you know, just for the record, like wave 1 was like very low, guys, and by the looks of it, by the volumes on CoinMarketCap, I repeat, it looks like this is a wave 3. Wave 4 can even go much lower and still gonna be valid. But do I think we're gonna go much lower? Well, my main in this case, guys, it's actually bullish, okay, without not necessarily meaning we're gonna go to fresh highs. I believe if that's the case indeed, because currently it looks like it, and I cannot just tell you it doesn't look like it, I do expect we're going to get a very deep correction. Okay, usually, especially in wave 2, you know, we do go down to close to 85%. So down to around 50 or so, it's expected again. Okay, now you might say, well, it's been going up since June while everything else has been falling, so why just not continue up? And yes, you are right. If it does, we just have to keep an eye on these levels, guys. This Fibonacci is just our tool for potential pullbacks. Pullback, correction, deep, and very deep, you know. Either way, 3 and 4 is my main, an ABC internally over here, and then you start off with a new 5-wave move. Okay, there is something I don't like in the medium term per se. This, it looks like an ABC, so there is still chance for this to be because it comes exactly at 138, right? To be something like look at this, be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, how can we differentiate? Well, we can't really, it's our call. I do see this as an ABC, but if you go down on the 4 hours, for example, well, you can say that 1 is in here, 1 and 2, and that's 3, 3 and 4. But that kind of looks like the third is smaller though, you know. Or, well, another quite obvious thing, if this is an ABC, what can it be? It can be two things, guys. It can be a running triangle, right? Because it's ABC. It can be a flat wave, B, right? Or it can be an ending diagonal. Okay, so that's the ending diagonal, and A, B, like C, D, and E would be the triangle. Do I think we get a triangle? Not much likely. It's a very big wave 4 versus its wave 2. Do I think we have a flat? Again, I don't think so, because it does kind of, you know, like distance itself from wave 2 sort of duration. So do we have an ending diagonal? Yes, for me, it's either this or we're going to get an ending diagonal. And the ending diagonal can be a little bit bigger than usual, guys. I mean, you know, this is something quite likely, you know, especially if it's going to move in this territory. I mean, you know, it fits. I mean, the second and the fourth, they are okay. The second and the fourth, they are okay, you know, a little bit bigger than it should, but it's still okay. So either we're done here or we're going to get an ending diagonal, in my opinion, okay? Either way, deep is expected, okay? Pullback is expected. Going higher for the ending diagonal could potentially get us to around 150, and we're at 109, okay? That might be confirmed, with the assumption that the low is in wave 2 now in. Yeah, 150 perhaps for wave 3, and then the fourth down at 120. Yeah, just above 150, guys. And obviously we've got to follow the channel as well. Okay, now in case we're done though, as I said before, well, it depends on how we see this. Do we see this as something that makes sense to be a wave 8? That can be 1, that can be 2, but that cannot be 3 and 4 and 5. No, that cannot be a leading diagonal. That, guys, has more characteristics of a complex zigzag rather than anything else. Okay, so even A, B, and C is going to be hard because you got this thing in here. So look at this. So what could it be? The only thing that this thing could be to me is like perhaps even an A as a leading diagonal. Yes, indeed. B and C. What we do not like is seeing wave C's though extending. Okay, actually it did extend more than 100%. That is the one then. Okay, so we're gonna have to pull an ABC here, guys. Okay, and wait to see what's going to happen here. The ABC doesn't necessarily mean we're done, because we can still get a W, X, and Y, right? And then go up. And that is either in wave 4 or in ending diagonal. Okay. So that is pretty much for the main. Now I do also have a sort of variation in the medium term, because, you know, if we're gonna go as low as 50, you might as well just say, what if we just go lower down? What is the scenario then? But if we just go lower down, guys, the scenario is that this is still a wave 3. You have an ABC here still, which means we're gonna get a W. We're gonna get an ABC for wave X. Okay, so yeah, I would be expecting this to be a bit different, structurally speaking. And WX and Ys usually do see quite deep corrections, and we expect at least 175 in this case, but also expect a deep correction in wave B. Okay, and just looking at the B, and if we assume we are done, as we said before, look, there is already a cluster at 100, which we've already done. Okay, that, you know, I mean, it would be amazing if it would be wave A, but it just cannot be. But as an ABC, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe it's going to be even a flat here. Okay, because if we are in A or, you know, O2, that can be a flat. Let's not forget that. We can go higher first to see in a regular version of it. Either way, these are the two scenarios, guys. So one, we're going up. Okay, we expect a deep. Second, very similar, but the extension to the upside is gonna stop below the 100%. Okay, or at 100% of A and B, and from there we'll go lower again. Generational lows in this case, and much later. So that's gonna be all. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Likes, shares, questions, comments. Well, and trade safe.